welcome to another VisBees tutorial. Today we're going to look at interpreting a histogram. Previously you should have been looked at drawing a histogram and finding the frequency from a histogram. On an exam you may be given questions where you have to be able to use the graph and find out a particular amount of people, or basically the frequency of that section. To do this, what we're going to do is read the question and see where we need to draw a line. How many people are older than 30? So at 30 on the graph, because that's what our question's asking for, older than 30, we're going to draw a line going up and down. So as you can see, we've now got our line at 30. Now looking at the graph, we want to know how many people are older than 30. That means that we need to find out the area of each one of these rectangles. What I'm going to do first of all though is colour in this rectangle here that we've created by drawing this line in a different colour. So we're going to first off find the area of the pink one. Now to do that, it's class width times the frequency density. So I'm going to do 2.4, which is the frequency density, 2.4 times by the class width, which is 5, 30 to 35. So pink equals 2.4 times 5, which gets us 12. Now the orange section, so we're looking at the orange section here. The class width is 10 because you're going from 35 to 45, and the frequency density is 2. So what I'm going to do for the orange section, 2 for the frequency density times by 10 the class width, and that gets me 20 people. And finally we're going to look at the blue section, and in the blue section we've got a class width from 45 to 65, so that's a class width of 20, and we've got a height of 1.5. So we're going to do for the blue section 1.5 times by 20, which gets us the answer of 30 people. So in total, the amount of people that are older than 30, if we go back to the question, are these three categories added together. So that is 12, add on 20, add on 30, and that gets me the answer of 62 people. I'm just going to turn the slide over so you can see a nice neat type slide with the answers on. So as you can see, a good exam method is something slightly different, is you can actually put the areas of each section on the graph so you can understand and you can remember which one it is, because remember in the exam they won't be coloured in. Always remember to show your full working out though. Okay, example number 2. We want to know how many people are aged between 10 and 40 this time. So we're going to need to put 2 lines on the graph, one at 10 and one at 40. So I've got my 2 lines on my graph at 10 and 40, and what I'm going to do, like before, is I'm going to highlight each section, each new section should I say, a different colour that we haven't already got on there. So I'm going to go for yellow for the first one, and I'm going to go for pink for the second new section. Right, so looking at this graph now, we need to figure out the 3 new sections area to find the frequency. So the yellow section has a class width of 10 and it's got a height of 1.4. So we're going to do for the yellow section 1.4 times by 10, which gets us 14 people. For the purple section, we've got a class width from 20 to 35, which is class width of 15. And we've got a height of 2.4. So for the purple section, we're going to do 2.4 times by 15, and that'll get us the answer of 36. Finally, we're going to look at the pink section. So we've got a class width of 5, 35 to 40, class width of 5, and we've got a height of 2. So the sum that we're going to do for the pink section is going to be 5 times by 2, which is 10. So to find the total amount of people that are aged between 10 and 40, so the frequency of this category, this grouping, we're going to add them all together. So we're going to do 10, add 36, add 14. Using number bonds, 36 and 14 make 50, add on 10, that gets you 60 people. Again, I'm going to switch the slide so you can see this all typed up in a secondary method where you can label a graph. So as you can see again, we've shown all of our working out, but instead of writing at the side, we've done it onto the graph and we've labelled each section. Okay, here are some questions for you to try yourself. Pause the screen, have a go, or if you prefer, down below is a PDF that you can open up and you can print them out to have a go on the sheet. Okay, you should have by now had a go. If not, pause the screen, have a go, and I'm going to put the answers on. Here are the answers. So as you can see, I've put my line at 10 because I want to know the amount of students that completed in less than 10 minutes. Got my new rectangle, and to find the area of that I'm going to do 1.5 times by 10, which gets me 15, so it's 15 people that completed their homework in less than 10 minutes. Okay, part B, I want to know how many people completed their homework in more than 40 minutes. So again, I've drawn my line at 40, and then what I've done is I've drawn my new rectangle and I found the area of it. So the class width was 15, the height was 1, so 1 times 15 is 15, so it's 15 people. And lastly, you can see again, we want to know how many people between 15 and 45 minutes. So we've got 15 minutes and we've got 45 minutes. We put our lines. We found the area of each section. Okay, but the problem is with this section here, we've got 7.5 people. Now there's nowhere else to balance that out, so our answer would have been 57.5. Now, you can't have half a person, so we need to round that up for our final answer being 60 people. But it's important that you show both answers in the exam. Okay, thank you for listening for another Miss B's tutorial.